If you're looking around to see what you can do in Philadelphia for a vacation or visit, I'll show you everything you need to know here on Travel Tricks. Before I get started, thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel, as I'm always sharing tricks to help you make your next vacation the best one yet. This is Philadelphia. On this video, we will go through the old city and see important attractions and American historical sites that would help form and shape the nation that exists today. We will check out the City Hall and visit the best view to see in Philadelphia from up high. And check out some places to try some delicious Philadelphia eats around the city center, and go to the Reading Terminal Market for some food ideas to see and try. We'll check out some city center parks to stroll through. Continuing to go for a stroll, we'll check out Penn's Landing. And not far from here, there's some memorials close by to view. There's some streets you should visit. Then we'll leave the city center and check out the Rodin Museum, Philadelphia Museum of Art, and go inside the Eastern State Penitentiary and see this over 200-year-old prison that held such criminals as Al Capone. I'll show you this and more. Philadelphia is an incredible city to visit, and we'll start off in what is called Old City. The name describes one of the oldest and most historical areas in Philadelphia. You'll see a number of historical signs strolling in these parts, as so many monumental and historical things have happened around here. In fact, Philadelphia is the country's first World Heritage City, where so much history has been preserved. Starting with the Liberty Bell, this iconic symbol of freedom is displayed for everyone to see. The bell is famous for ringing from the tower of Independence Hall to alarm the citizens of Philadelphia to hear the first ever reading of the Declaration of Independence. You will notice the bell is cracked. Theories exist how it started, but we know the last time the bell rang was on George Washington's birthday in 1846 to celebrate the holiday, since it hasn't been able to ring. Made of 70% copper and 25% tin, you can see from the museum it has become a symbol of America in so many ways, and its message still to this day is so important to the American heritage. To visit the bell, it's free, but you do need to reserve a time to see this amazing monument. You line up and wait your turn. Just remember, pick your time. The lineups during my visit weren't an issue, but depending the day of the week and what season it is, lineups can become crazy long. If the lineups are too long, you can see the bell from a window, but you can't see the crack from this angle. Beside the Liberty Bell is the President's House site on the corner of 6th and Market Street. This outdoor exhibit is free to see and open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. year-round. The house was demolished in 1832, but was the home of both George Washington and John Adams. This was once a 3.5-story brick mansion that housed American presidents while the White House completed construction. It was also home to 8 slaves brought in by Washington. In your visit here, you can see some of the stories preserved from the perspective of enslaved individuals who lived and worked there. Across the street, you'll find Independence Visitor Center. There are a couple of these locations in Philadelphia. In here, you can visit the gift shop, where you'll have a number of souvenirs or gifts to find. And don't forget to take a picture with Rocky for the memories. There's an Independence Cafe. You can buy a gift and get a bite to eat and grab something to drink all in one place. And there's room to sit at a table to relax if needed. There's an ATM if you need to add some cash to your wallet, and restrooms, well, if you need to go. As a visitor, you can get some American history touch-ups to understand the significance of the many monuments here. You can also get tickets and help seeing some attractions in town and watch What's to See in Philadelphia on film. Next, we come to Independence Hall. This is an historic civic building in Philadelphia where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States were debated and put together by the Founding Fathers. To see this American monument, you will need to get tickets, and you can do that by going to recreation.gov. They cost $1 American, and you can choose the times on the day that you are available to see inside this huge part of American history. The place is at this time self-guided, but park rangers will be around to answer questions. If you have no ticket, you will have to leave by 10:30 a.m. But arrive early because only so many can come inside, and if there's too many, you're not guaranteed to get in. If you come with your ticket, which I highly encourage, come for your time slot. You will go through security and then wait with your group to come in. Inside, you join a short tour where you'll hear the story of America being debated and put together. There's plenty of time to take photos and explore this beautiful part of history. Right next to Independence Hall is Congress Hall. This building is where the United States Congress met from December 6, 1790 to May 14, 800. You can visit without a guided tour between 9 and 10:30 a.m. and from 4:30 to 5 p.m. and it's free to see. Close to Independence Hall, there's a number of places to walk by or check out, such as Carpenter's Hall. It was here Congress stopped the slave trade with other colonies, a step forward eliminating slavery. It's beautiful and worth a visit. It is free to enter without a ticket. There's the first Bank of the United States. After the War of Independence was over, there was widespread economic destruction. Alexander Hamilton helped to create a national bank, which would become the first Bank of the United States. You'll notice an image of an eagle, as this is the oldest known reference to the Great Seal of the United States. By 1811, this bank would face a number of constitutional challenges and opposition from state banks and close. And that brings us to the second Bank of the United States. In 1816, following an economic downturn, the United States would make its second attempt at creating a central bank. They believed creating a national bank like before would solve the economic issues and large debt. Much after debate in January 1817, the second Bank of the United States was opened right here. Across the street and up the road, you'll approach a beautiful old brick post office. This is called Be Free Franklin Post Office. This is a working USPS post office, and you can get your envelopes and postcards hand-stamped with Benjamin Franklin's signature. And this place was also home to Benjamin Franklin from 1737 until 1753. Staff dress in the period costumes and use quill and ink. It's pretty cool. The second floor has a post office museum, and if you walk through the entrance, you'll see where once a house stood. This was Franklin Court, and this was the site where Benjamin Franklin lived and died in 1790. The house was torn down 22 years later. The naked outline structure outlines where Franklin's house stood. Behind the Franklin Court is the Benjamin Franklin Museum. Inside is a nice look at Benjamin Franklin's life and achievements, and there are many here. It's a really nice museum and will cost a ticket to enter, and you can do that once you enter the museum. Just a 6-minute walk up 4th Street to Arch Street, you'll come across Christ Church Burial Ground, home to the gravesite of many revolutionary leaders, including Benjamin Franklin. And you'll notice pennies on his tomb site. 20 years after his death, a story came out about a new bride who tossed a penny on Franklin's grave for good luck, health, and wealth throughout her marriage, and that tradition continues. If you want to get around the old city quicker than walking block to block, there are racks all over the place with bikes you can rent. If you're coming into Philadelphia by car, There's also a number of parking spaces all over the place to leave your vehicle. Philadelphia Old City isn't a place you need to drive around. The streets with everything you want to see is walkable. An 8-minute walk from Arch Street to Market Street will bring you to Declaration House. This is a national landmark. It's where Thomas Jefferson penned the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Though the original residence was demolished in 1883, the house was reconstructed by the National Park Service in 1975. If you walk from Market Street down 7th Street to Walnut Street, you'll come across what was once Alexander Hamilton's house. Now just a marker, this was once a house back in 1791. Just a 4-minute walk away from Walnut Street and up 3rd Street to Chestnut Street, you'll come to the Museum of the American Revolution. This is a pay-to-enter museum. If you enjoy the history of the War of Independence, then this may be of interest to you. Fully equipped with artifacts and history, you can go through the stories of America in the 18th century. The battles, the people behind the uniforms, historical moments. You can even go aboard a battleship. If you need, there are bathrooms and fountains if you get thirsty, and a gift shop to take home a souvenir. If you detour off Chestnut Street and walk up 3rd Street past Market Street, you'll reach Arch Street. Here is where you'll find the House of the American Flag, Betsy Ross House. The Betsy Ross House is a landmark and is said to be the home where the upholsterer and the flag maker, Betsy Ross, resided, and has been believed to have sewn the first American flag. Inside, you get to experience a household centuries ago, where she sewed the first flag with 9 rooms from the bedroom, kitchen, to the cellar where she made musket cartridges for the army. You also get to go to the Ross Upholstery Shop, the parlor where she is said to have received the flag committee, and meet staff who play the role of Betsy Ross to answer all your questions. And to give you a helpful trick, the gift shop here is the best place to find a souvenir. If you're looking for a shirt for yourself or somebody else, I thought it was the best one in Philadelphia during my stay. And that's out of several places I went to. So if you're looking for a gift, come to the Betsy Ross gift shop. If you come down Market Street, you'll notice a beautiful, enormous building that is very busy and has so much going on. This is Philadelphia City Hall, located on John F. Kennedy Boulevard. The building is built with brick, white marble, and limestone. The City Hall is the world's largest freestanding masonry building, and it opened in 1901. Inside the City Hall, there's a beautiful courtyard with routes to different streets around the area. It's a nice place to explore, relax, and there's a walkway to the local subway system. There's a Philadelphia Visitor Center where you can find a souvenir from the limited gift shop or take up on a City Hall interior and exterior tour with a tower tour, or just take the tower tour. The tower tour is where you go to the top of the City Hall and enjoy the best view of the city center, Philadelphia. Just so you know, the tower tour is not wheelchair accessible. You do walk up staircases and escalators as you rise to the top. When you wait for the lift, there are a number of pictures and facts to learn. The lift is small and narrow, too small for a wheelchair or a walker, but it will bring you 548 feet above ground to the City Hall Tower, where you'll get to enjoy the beautiful city skyline from the city's highest open-air observation deck. You can even see up close, looking up to see the statue of William Penn himself. Philadelphia is home to some legendary eats, and I'll go over a couple spots. First, Philly cheesesteak. It's one of the most known foods unique here, so I had to try some out. Searching for a spot, everyone has their own favorite. I wanted to stay in the old city, so I decided on Jim's South Street, located on South Street. I started in line, which ended up just outside the door. In time, I was in, and the staff are fast. When you're in line, make sure you know what you want. If you want toppings, onions, what kind of cheese, best be prepared. They aren't going to be happy if you show up without your choices made. You pay by cash only. If you're short on funds, there is an ATM on site. They do have a dining room, but like the long line to get in, there wasn't any seats open once I got my meal. My wife and I ended up finding a table outside, and it was alright. It was a beautiful day. I got a cheesesteak with onions and cheese whiz. I'm not a big steak eater to begin with, but when in Rome, I had to try it. And overall, it wasn't bad. I don't eat red meat as much, but it was cool to try, and happy that I did. If you're just wanting to walk around Philadelphia and not interested in sitting as much, you'll find food stands around. You could just pick up something on the go. Me, I prefer to find a spot to sit indoors. And if you're into trying some delicious pizza, check out Old City Pizza on 3rd Street. It's just walking distance from Betsy Ross' house. Inside was a nice warm atmosphere and plenty of choices. It seems to be a family-run business. I ordered the stromboli and I got a vegetarian dish, and man, the size is like wow. So cutting in for my first piece, I can tell you it's so cheesy, and I will admit I had to twirl that cheese around my fork because there was a lot. Once I got it on my fork, it was amazing and well worth it. Great meal. If you're looking to find a number of choices to eat within a small area, then come down to Arch Street and go inside Reading Terminal Market. This is an indoor farmers market, and it's been here since 1893, and it's open 7 days a week. You can find several treats to discover here, and I checked out By George. Here you can find a number of food choices, everything from cheesesteaks to stromboli, several submarine sandwiches, pasta, and a number of delicious dishes. I admit, I could have tried everything here, but looking at the pizzas, we settled on a Sicilian pizza. Each of us got a slice. The slice was delicious. The sauce was amazing, no complaints on the taste, but I would say it wasn't fully reheated, and it got a bit cold quick, but the food was amazing. You can pretty much find a few different ideas to eat or snack in here, from hot dogs to enjoying a smoothie or sitting at a deli. I have a video I will post at the end of this one, all about my experience at Reading Terminal Market, as I tried a number of treats, and I'll share some of the places you can go for yourself to taste a little bit of Philadelphia. Moving on, I will share some city parks to visit while you're in Philadelphia. I'm a sucker for a nice park, especially city parks, and there is a number of interesting ones to experience. The first is Love Park, also known as JFK Plaza. It's known mostly for Robert Indiana's 1970 Love sculpture. Throughout the day, people love to take their picture with this popular word. If you want to see Robert Indiana's Amor sculpture, which means love in Spanish and Latin, come to the Sister Cities Park on 18th Street and the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. Another beautiful and incredibly landscaped park is at Rittenhouse Square, on Walnut Street. This is one of 5 parks planned by William Penn during the late 17th century. The park is by several shops, and there's always something going on, whether it be an outdoor market, selling goods, or just a relaxing place to enjoy a beautiful afternoon. And last, Welcome Park on Sansom Walk. Here it's not like the city parks you've known to visit. This is actually where William Penn lived, which was a slate roof house. It was also Pennsylvania's seat of government from 1700 to 1701. It looks more like a courtyard surrounded by buildings and a park, but reading the literature and if you enjoy history, this is a nice spot to check out. Next, we will walk towards the Delaware River and visit Penn's Landing. This area is home to year-round attractions like the Independence Seaport Museum. Several restaurants in the area. There's the Lovelock Fence, a 250-foot-long fence that was made to pay tribute to any life moment. There's the Penn's Landing Marina, where you can view the Delaware River and several old ships. I got here in the morning, and while this place is rocking with festivals and several stands to enjoy food and snacks, my visit wasn't during those periods, but it can for you. My visit was still enjoyable. I got to see the Benjamin Franklin Bridge and stroll down the walkway. Overall, I'd say going on a quiet morning or on a busy weekend, Penn's Landing is still worth a visit. Right by Penn's Landing, you'll find a couple memorials to see. One is for the Korean War. This memorial is called Philadelphia Korean War Memorial. Here, each name of more than 600 servicemen who were killed or missing in action from Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, and Philadelphia counties are presented in this memorial. Beside the Korean War Memorial is the Philadelphia Vietnam Veterans Memorial. This memorial includes the names of 648 men who were killed or missing in action during the Vietnam War. There's also 10 panels showing moments from the beginning to the final rescue of the Vietnamese refugees in 1975. And there is the Irish Memorial. This memorial is to remember and share with everyone about the Irish famine that took place in the 19th century Ireland. The bronze sculpture shares a story in a frozen moment, the millions of Irish who died of starvation from 1845 to 1850, as well as the many Irish who resettled America at that time period. There are a couple of streets to spend some time, or at least check out. The first is Jewelers Row, which is Philadelphia's Diamond District, located on Walnut Street, Samsung Street, and 7th and 8th and 9th. It's a cool visit. Even if you're not in the mood to buy, just walking down the streets with endless jewelry stores, it's a pretty neat experience. Next is Market Street. It's right by the City Hall. This is Philadelphia's shopping district. There's a number of stores to check out here. Or, if you're only looking for a lunch meal or dessert, try the Hard Rock Cafe. There's a number of rock memorabilia from a suit worn by Elton John to Tony Iommi's guitar. The atmosphere is pretty nice here, and service was great. And it's a must-see in the Old City, and that's Alfred's Alley, a small cobblestone alley known as America's oldest residential street. Built in 1702, 32 houses built between 1703 and 1836. The alley's residents were tradesmen. I have a video about my visit at Alfred's Alley, and it was a highlight of my trip to Philadelphia, and I'll share it at the end of this video. From here, we will leave the Old City and explore some spots outside the city center. If you're not driving, you can visit by using SEPTA, which is the public transportation system for Philadelphia. And if you're interested in using the transit bus or subway system, I'll put up a video how to get a SEPTA key card at the end of this video. First, we will visit the Rodin Museum. No, not in Paris, France. Yes, there is a Rodin Museum right in Philadelphia. Besides Paris, France, this also contains one of the largest collections of sculptor Auguste Rodin's work, opening in 1929. You can see some of Rodin's art throughout the years. You can even see the thinker up front here. Moving on, there's the Washington Monument. Yes, Philadelphia has one. It's a bronze and granite sculpture of George Washington mounted on a horse facing down the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. It's a beautiful display to view and take pictures of. And right behind it is the Philadelphia Museum of Art and the grand staircase all the way to the top, which I did do. The architecture is beautiful and houses a huge collection of art all across the globe, through the age of Renaissance, American, East and South Asian, Impressionist, and Contemporary. The view of Philadelphia from atop is breathtaking, and don't forget to see the footprints of Rocky III, or better yet, check out the official Rocky statue from the movie Rocky III. It's not on top of the Museum of Art anymore, but it's still here, just by the stairwell. Always fun to get a picture here. And last is a visit to the Eastern State Penitentiary. This prison has held prisoners from 1829 to 1971. Visiting this prison, you will see the evolution of what this prison started from, all the way to who this prison housed, from women to, yes, even children, all the way to the famous Al Capone. You visit the evolution of what the cells started from to what they eventually became. cell block after cell block, all the way to death row. It's a very detailed and incredible journey, and it's a trip worth visiting. And if you're interested in learning more about my trip to Eastern State Penitentiary, I'll add a video at the end of this one for you to watch. Philadelphia is a fun, beautiful, and to me, with the cobble roads, Philadelphia and the old buildings and homes, it was like Europe meets America. Unique and loaded full of history, and a great place to take a vacation. If you're looking to visit Reading Terminal Market, Alfred's Alley, or Eastern State Penitentiary, or if you want to get a septic key card, check out this video. And I hope you enjoyed my video on Philadelphia, and would love for you to subscribe to my channel, Travel Tricks, as I'm always sharing tricks to help you make your next vacation the best one yet. Thank you.